Hey everyone, right now we are entering Jefferson Notch Road in New Hampshire. There's a little bit of snow on the ground here. How much snow do we think is going to be at the top? This is the second highest elevation road in the state. The Mount Washington Auto Road is the highest. This is the second. And this is not a plowed road. This road should be gated already. I'm surprised it's not. But down here there's just a coating of snow. At the top it's probably going to be a couple inches. Or it accumulated better. So let's check it's not slippery. Because this road does get very steep and dangerous. Right now, outside temperature, it's not going to let me know, is it? That is, alright, it's exactly 32 out. I predict it'll be maybe 25 at the top. On these roads that climb really fast up a steep hill, I like to play that game. What's it going to be at the top? Temperature difference. Misting out right now. It's just warm enough where it's not snowing. Wonder if we'll see anyone camping. Yeah, right there. There's a camper in there. This road's full of free campsites. Campsites for up to 2 weeks. I camped on this road about 3 years back for a couple of nights. In the summertime, these campsites are hard to come by because they fill up fast, because it's here for free, or you're gonna pay like minimum $30 a night at an actual campground somewhere else. But they are a good distance away from each other. Campsite, like the biggest one they have. No one's in there. Like you could fit any kind of camper in there. Keep doing brake checks. I have studded tires, but I do not trust that. On icy roads, they don't seem to really do much of anything. Started sign that there's other tracks. And there's still people camping out here. Steeper. See that the snow is only sticking to the bridge because the cold air can get underneath the deck and freeze it. The rest of the road still has a good amount of warmth from the ground. Haven't dropped at all yet in temperatures. Here might be some ice on the pavement. No, it's just slush. For now anyways. Until tonight. It'll flash freeze. Another snow-covered bridge. See right here we got some rusty guardrails. I point that out because this is actually rusty. I noticed that New Hampshire is putting a lot of guardrails up that are painted rust colored. They are brown like that. Just to help them not stand out as much. They blend into the surrounding forest a little bit better. The snow is obviously getting deeper than when we started. Temperature hasn't moved at all yet, but higher elevation means more snow. Still paved. It's only paved around the bridges, I imagine, because in case this river flooded over the top, I think it's less likely to wash out. Now we're back to dirt. Now we're gonna gain elevation fast, and the snow on the road might increase fast. Ago, all the campsites to the left have a really nice stream in the back of them that's got little water holes and stuff in it, and like natural water slides. The entire stream bed was like flat rock, becomes slippery. Brake little bit of traction now. Not terrible though. Reason I'm doing brake checks is because this is just as steep on the other side where we're going to go down. This road goes up and over. We've dropped in temperature. Now it's 30 degrees. Tracks or those people in the road. I'm gonna have to keep it really slow going down the other side. Snow's getting deeper fast. Someone was parked in there recently. Maybe they camped. That was a little campsite we just went by. Every little pull-in is a campsite if you want it to be. They mark the spots where you can't go. Snow's getting deeper compared to down there, but there's not a lot. So I don't think it'll be terrible at the top. Brake check. I slid a teeny bit, not bad though. That was pretty good. Now the road's getting really steep, that's why I did that brake check. And now you can see it's obviously snowing. Now we dropped a little more, 28 degrees now. I guess to 25 for the top. Here we got a really sharp turn that people have crashed on before, not knowing that's there going down here at night. When we start at the bottom, it's just a coating now that looks like we got an inch on the road of snow, maybe even 2. It is kind of pretty out. It was cold enough when the bulk of the snow fell that it was very fluffy. That's why there's not a ton of snow stuck in the trees. It's not like when it's heavy, wet snow, everything looks super beautiful. It literally, you know, where it sticks to every surface. Because when it's dry snow, fluffy, it doesn't stick to anything. It's got to be wet. I can see visibility's down a little bit if you look at the treetops. It is snowing very late. Sometimes you go up this road and it will drop only a couple degrees One time it actually went up somehow getting to the top, but usually goes down a bit, sometimes more than other times. Alright, this is at the top. There's a parking lot here if you want to hike to the top of Mount Jefferson. So just out of curiosity, I want to know if there's anyone in here. This culvert pipe's out of the ground. I can see the corrugation sticking out. Anyone in here? Any hikers? Nope, but there's tire tracks from people driving in here. You can see it's snowing now a bit. It's a little slippery. Not bad though. Yeah, see, we're slipping a little bit, so take it easy on the way down now. The road's gonna get steep in just a couple hundred more feet. See, that sign there says you can basically camp anywhere up here in the White Mountain National Forest, but you have to be a quarter mile away from any road or trail, so you can hike out anywhere basically. The trees look nice here. Get a downshift now into second gear for now, going down the steep hill. Yeah, it's not slippery, but I'm being very cautious of this road, because this road here, I did slide off into a drainage ditch at one point. Until we get down a little bit flatter, I'm not going to go faster than 10. Keep it nice and slow. It snowed a bit since anyone else been up here. Most of these tracks have a good half an inch of snow in them. Yeah, at this point in the year, I think they should already shut this road down. Because they got all the signs at the beginning saying not maintained for winter travel. That's usually when the gate should be shut. Wow, we're not getting good MPG at all going up that snowy hill on the other side. 13 MPG going up that hill. The steepest part's about to be over. This road's a lot worse if you do it in the opposite direction, because this side of the mountain we don't have a lot to go down. The other side you do have a lot more steep hills. Now it's not going to be as steep, so we don't have to downshift much anymore, if at all. That was the worst part, going down this side. It's much scarier when there's snow on the road if you do it the opposite direction. It's actually nice driving through like an inch or two of snow, because it dampens everything. It's quiet compared to the gravel road that you'd usually be driving on. It's like insulation. It makes the ride so much smoother. So this, once there's enough snow on the ground, this will be a snowmobile trail for the winter. Once they shut the gates at the bottom. they let the snow build up a couple feet, and they reopen the gates when a vehicle couldn't possibly go down here. And they usually will put orange signs up saying no highway vehicles, snowmobiles only. And they also usually put signs up in certain spots that say, if you bring a vehicle down here, ignoring the sign no highway vehicles, there's like a $5,000 fine if you get stuck. This road's maintained by the state of New Hampshire National Forest Service. I think it's both. This is a National Forest Service road, but the graders they use say New Hampshire DOT when they come out here. This road sustains damage almost every spring during the spring thaw. This road would usually be opened around Memorial Day, maybe a little later, depends. There's sometimes still snow at the top. Whenever it melts, they usually open it up. But this year, they didn't open until late June. Before that, in year 2022, they didn't open it until like the end of July, and that's how bad the damage was to the road that they had to fix. Because if you notice, right next to us, there's a river. The same thing on the other side. You notice there was a lot of bridges and a river. Well, the other side didn't have damage. This side did. That river here, there's certain spots we're going to be so close to it, there's only a couple feet of elevation on the road. Well, when that floods sometimes, it takes this road out a whole ton. And it took forever to fix it 2 years ago. So many washouts. The drainage ditches on the road couldn't handle the melt, so it carved out the whole edge of the road for quite a few miles. Not the worst. It's not that slippery. But I'm being very cautious on this road because this is the same road that I slid off of a few years ago. But also back then I wasn't using winter tires. And the snow back then was like 4 inches deep, not just little coating. And I think there was also ice too combined with it. Because last time that one didn't even feel slippery until it did. If anyone wants to see that, there's videos of that sliding off the road. I slid, side-swiped the car, breaking the mirror off, denting the back door, then slamming in the front, puncturing the windshield washer fluid, but nothing else. It was still drivable, but it had like 4,000 in body damage. Not as steep, so I'm going about 15 miles an hour at the moment. Yeah, you see the river right here? There's barely any elevation to the road. And by the way the land is shaped, I think it crosses and doesn't come back. It looks like it probably goes over there to the left, and there's a bridge coming up that it probably returns through. Here it is. Surprised this road's still open. Sometime I want to camp on here again. I don't know when I would do that though. Maybe in the spring. Public campsites like this, I usually prefer to use them in the spring after all the snow has dissolved everyone else's poops from the year before. Because these campsites, somewhere in the woods, there's always poops people don't bury. And you're going to accidentally step in that after a whole summer of people being at these campsites. Because there's no types of bathrooms or anything out here except burying it in a hole. Some of these campsites are pretty gross. You'll find a whole area of toilet paper and poop. Here's another spot. You see how close we are to the water? It can easily come up here onto the road and wash it out. Not even just washing it out, but rut it up pretty bad. Someone hit that tree to the left. All the bark was peeled off it. We've got another bridge with a campsite to the left. Or people made it a campsite anyways. I always see someone parked there, and there's a fire pit. Like, take a look at this. Certainly right in front of us, the road goes underwater. Like, I bet this river here sometimes floods. Maybe not onto the deck of the bridge, but right up here, it probably crosses the road there. Because, take a look at this. You see that pile of debris down there? That giant pile of trees? That's how high the water gets. So it must get at least 6 feet deeper than it currently is, and that would mean probably all over the road here. This road's about to end. Yep, it says gate ahead. There's a lot more snow on this side coming out because we didn't go down nearly as much as the other side. We're staying with our elevation. Up here at the gate, if we take a left, which is a main road again, that goes to the cog railway. And I'll end the video right here down at the end. The end. I hope this drive over the mountain was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching and have a great day. They already got all the snowmobile signs up. That's what those little orange ones are. Welcome snowmobiles. We're open. Okay, that's the cog railway sign saying welcome snowmobiles. So the road we just came from has 0 of those orange warning signs. But over here, what do these signs say? That one there just says cog railway, pointing to where it is for snowmobilers. But you see this over here? They got the sign up here. It says, no highway vehicles allowed. If you ignore the sign above and you get stuck, you will pay $500 minimum to be pulled out. Twin Mountain Snowmobile Club. Okay, so they're being a little lenient here. I've seen them say $5,000. That one right there says $500. If you ignore this sign and get stuck, you will have to pay that because they don't maintain these roads.